Ben, go ahead.
Sean, you guys are rotating a lot of guys in at the offensive line. How do those rotations work? Is it kind of drive to drive, play to play? And how have you guys been able to keep up the continuity with so many guys coming in and out?
Did you ask, can you repeat the question? You kind of broke up there a little bit.
It's rotations, guys coming in at offensive line. Is that more kind of like drive to drive, play to play? And how do you maintain continuity with a lot of guys shuffling in and out?
So we just rotate guys through because everyone's pretty solid. So it kind of allows the interior and the exterior to stay fresh throughout the game. It doesn't really matter about the play or, the amount of drives we do. It just kind of is just to keep everyone fresh so we can stay kind of bit into what we're, doing during the game. And it doesn't really matter who rotates in or who doesn't because we're all pretty solidified as a group because we practice with each other every day.
Those rotations, do you kind of know what they're going to be like before the game, or does it kind of depend on how the game is going?
No, just up to Coach Fry, really. How the game's going, how everyone's feeling, how greased up is everybody. But yeah, no, we don't know. We just go into the game thinking everyone's going to be playing everything. So we're all ready.
Great. Thank you.
Mike.
Hey, good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Mike.
Do you feel that the O-line is more in sync this year than it was last year? Do you think there's more communication? How are you feeling with this group of guys? And secondly, what specifically has Coach Fry done this year to help the line be more successful?
I think this year I want to say that this year's line is better than last year's. I just think that we're all bid in and we're kind of really taking that next step as a whole group to be no one's perfect, but we're trying to work our steps to be perfect so that when we go out there everyone knows what we're doing and we could just kind of all together as a whole be successful. And Coach Fry is really hammering that this year with just making sure that everyone knows everything so that we don't go into a game with second guessing ourselves, because then that doesn't end up being successful, really. So,
Tony.
Hey, Sean. With regards a little bit of a follow-up on that, with regards to the line work this year compared to last year, the running game looks really solid. Not easy to replace Josh, but the running game looks really good. What are you guys doing work-wise with regards to the run game?
Practicing really hard. That's just kind of, I think our conditioning is definitely up from last season, so it allows us to play harder for longer. So that definitely helps our run game quite a bit, I think.
Does it help you guys that you've got two different kinds of running backs when you've got Dimitrik, who is a little bit more of an outside speed guy, and you've got Britton, who's more of a north-south guy? What does that do to your schemes?
Nothing. We block it the same, and we just go out there and have fun. Just block for the running back and let him make us right, and we help him get through the holes and score. So it's kind of as simple as that, really.
Tracy.
Hey, Sean. The pass protection has dramatically improved this year. What do you think technically are some of the things this offensive line group is doing that's improved comparatively, let's say, to last year or just overall?
Technically, I think we're just working harder. I mean, we're definitely working harder this year. We're bid in. We take things, not that we didn't take things last year seriously, but this year we're, like I said before, trying to be a perfectionist on everything we do, just so that, when we do get a little bit tired, like everyone does in a game, we don't completely fall apart and we can still protect and run the ball, even while we're, gassed a little bit. But, it is what it is. We're definitely more conditioned than we were last year.
How are you technically improved in pass protection?
I don't know. I feel like I have a lot to improve on still, but I guess this being my second year, I'm not a freshman anymore. I think that just kind of helped me out mentally that, I got through my first season okay, so this season should be the same. But I don't know, just growing up as a football player and as a man, I think that's just really all that has changed for me, but I still have to work on a lot of stuff.
How is this group more cohesive than, let's say, last year? Does it seem like everyone is more on the same page and working together, do you think?
Yeah, we definitely, I mean, losing Chris and Jake and Boss and Mike, but for the most part, everyone here has been here, for the last year and a couple of years. So we're all kind of, that O-line kind of brotherhood. So we like to talk to each other, and we're not afraid to yell at each other for messing up on practice or during practice, just because we're trying to get it right. So I think that's just kind of as a whole, we're just not afraid to get on each other's case because we all want to be successful.
And that's
What
just wanted to follow up, and that's different than it was last year, that you all are able to be critical of each other, and maybe last year you weren't able to.
I mean, I think last year we were still kind of, you know, we weren't young, but just as a whole, we were kind of letting Coach Fry do all the corrections almost instead of helping each other through with the coaching. So last year we weren't as vocal with each other. We were letting Coach Fry kind of do all the yelling, and now we're Coach Fry's doing the yelling and we're doing the yelling too. So it kind of emphasizes it even more. So I think that has helped us a lot.
All right, one more question. Let's go to Ben.
What's been your role in that verbalization? Have you taken on that leadership role as somebody like Paul, who's come in as a veteran, helped out with that? Who's really stepped up vocally in that way?
Everybody has. I'm not too much of a outgoing person, but I try to be as vocal as I can, trying to help the freshmen and even, help Paul out, even though he's like 40 years older than me, but he helps me out. I help him out. And it's just a great kind of bond that the whole O-line has built with each other. So it's, it doesn't feel good during practice when you mess up, but once they get on your case and you get it right, it's a lot better than getting it wrong in the game and it costing a sack or a turnover or something unfortunate. So it's good.
All right, let's wrap it up there. Thank you for your time, Sean.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
All right, so
All right, questions for Paul Grattan? Mike, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Paul.
how you doing, Mike?
Good, thank you. Obviously, it's your first season with the team, but what are your thoughts on how the scheme is collectively? How fast you're going. Is that something new to you? And what's your relationship like with Justin Fry? How has he helped you this season?
Yeah, I mean, this completely the fast tempo offense. We did it a little bit at Villanova, but barely at all. So it's been a big part of our game plan the past couple games, and it's definitely a change. It's practices flying by. We're just blowing through periods. We're getting our reps done way before the time, and so we have extra time to steal reps after that. So it's good. It's good. More reps is getting better every single day. And Coach Fry is great. I mean, he's a guy who really knows what he's talking about, and that's helped me out a lot. And just little things that I need to work on every single day. Overall things that I'm having issues with, and he's very similar to my offensive line coach back there, so hasn't been much of a change, and I really enjoy it.
Ben.
Morning, Paul.
How you doing, man?
Good. Sean was talking to us about the level of accountability on the line and guys kind of talking to each other, holding themselves accountable for mistakes. Is that something that you contributed to upon coming? Did you notice that it was already at a high level and just kind of chipped in or chimed in along the way? What's kind of your take on how that's worked?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been growing. I mean, at the start, I think Coach Fry's just been pushing it. Like, hey, I mean, the best teams are athlete held, like accountable held teams. Like if the players hold each other accountable, the coaches don't have to do anything. So I think it's just been something that it's been a point of emphasis, and so we've been growing it over time. And I mean, it came in and it was here, and hopefully I've been just helping it grow, and it's been pretty good. Everybody's bought into it, and nobody's getting mad. I mean, that's the biggest thing is whenever players correct players, people start getting mad at each other, and it's not that at all. It's people are really bought in, like, all right, yeah, let's go. You're right. Let's wipe off the that bad rep, and let's go get a new one.
One other thing, the substitution pattern, you guys looks like moving in and out a lot of guys. How is the line able to keep cohesion when you got different guys kind of coming in, guys like Mafi and John Gaines coming in and getting with the line? How do you keep cohesion with all that going on?
I mean, it's super easy because at practice we have rotations constantly. I mean, I'm working with Lucas Gramblick sometimes. It's just we have every possible combination at all times. Everybody's getting reps in as many reps as they can, and so we already have that cohesion. We practice. I have thousands of reps with every single guy on the team on every single side of the line, so it worked out really well. It works out really well.
Tony.
Hey, how's it going today?
Going well by yourself?
Good, thanks. Hey, listen, Sean just said, I think he said you're about 40 years older than he is. Clearly, as the most experienced player on the offensive line, what's the skill level of these guys that you have come to play with, having spent your previous years on the East Coast?
Yeah, I mean, they're really good. I mean, playing with these guys, I see stuff that they're doing that I wouldn't have even dreamed about doing whenever I was a sophomore. I mean, Moff, Gaines, Duke, I mean, they're all going to be extremely good. I can't wait to see them whenever they're grow up and grow as players. I mean, they're all going to be extremely good players. And I'm happy to be on this offensive line. I mean, every single one of them. Alec has huge potential. Sean has huge potential. Sam's amazing. He's been doing great at center. Every single one of these guys, they're doing awesome. So I mean, it's a huge jump. I mean, coming over, I think it's just the quickness that people are ready. I think it's just because I mean, in FCS, it takes a couple of years for people to get ready because you get high school guys that aren't really mature enough, not really ready to play just then. And so whenever I see it now that the FBS guys are ready to play as soon as they step on the field. So it's been interesting for sure.
Talk about the push that the offensive line has been getting in the run game. I mean, you've got a guy in Demetric Felton who can cut to the outside, who's got some quick moves, and then you've got a north-south runner, like Britton Brown. Talk about what it's like on the offensive line when you've got two different running backs behind you.
Tell you what, it makes things a lot easier. I mean, defenses, if you just only have one type of back, defenses can scheme that up and shut that back down. And so whenever you have two different types of back who have the skill level that those two guys have, I mean, they're absolutely ridiculous. It makes our job so much easier because the defense doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know, it's going to be pitch play. They don't know anything that's going on. So all we have to do is get to our assignments and they make the plays.
All right, just a couple more last questions. Let's go to Mike if you've got one. Nothing? Okay, let's go to Ben.
What's it like as an offensive lineman when you're seeing Felton get to the second and third level and doing his little jukes and cuts and his incredible vision he has? How much fun is it for you to see him make those moves?
Yeah, it's super nice because you see him he's about to get tackled and then he breaks off and you're like, "Ooh, I don't have to run another play. I just can run 70 yards down the field and give him a big old hug." So it's pretty nice whenever he breaks a long one. I mean, he's, like I said, him and Britton both, they just make stupendous plays every single game, and they're only going to get better. So
thank you.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you for your time, Paul.
Yep, no problem. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks.